So where's IT in this? And frankly, and I'll go back to an earlier illustration, there's this concept I call infrastructure strain. And what we're seeing is a gap between where IT is and where the bad guys are. Not that IT is slow, it's just that IT has so many other things to do besides security. And so there's this sort of ever-increasing gap between where IT needs to be as far as its appreciation for the threat landscape and what the bad guys are actually delivering. Their job description, by definition, is to be spread, I think, too thin over the entire business arena. That includes its impact on production, its impact on top line, bottom line revenue, and compliance, and disaster recovery, and business continuity, and all those other things, along with security. And there's just not enough hours in the day. There's not enough man hours to, not enough cycles to make it all happen. Consequently, there's this, I think, biased opinion, but an absolute need to have this outside third-party source that can bridge that gap. So sort of the requirements are an organization like Symantec's that can bridge that gap. Again, it's back to the knowledge component, but in this instance, it's not just about what the threat landscape looks like. It's a case of what are the areas of technical expertise we need to bridge the gap between what's actually being delivered and what internal IT has to offer. In the past, the numbers were low enough to where you could consider managing them manually. It was a case of determining what issues are out there, what needs to be patched, what need to be updated. Frankly, historically, it's been more about the lag time between the potentially exploitable vulnerability surfacing and the time it took for the appropriate vendor, whoever it happens to be, to deliver the patch, and then installing it was not that big a deal. The catch is, in this day, that's becoming, the sheer numbers, again, are going through the roof. We see the need for automation, and we're not talking about just patch levels. We're talking about, policy review. We're talking about compliance issues. We're talking about patching, obviously, virus definitions, whatever it happens to be. We think today that to the degree we can eliminate the human being from the process, to the degree I can automate the processes literally from start to finish. There's an issue, the issue can be discovered, we can determine what the mitigating steps are, we can go out and grab the patch or update the virus definitions or turn off a service that happens, whatever it happens to be, and resolve that issue, and then all IT gets at the end of the day is a report that says we found this, we found this, we found this, and we fixed it. Symantec has it within its portfolio literally to do all of those things. Obviously, we've got the security technologies that can secure the environment, but on a day-to-day basis, they are out of date. And so workflow and control compliance suite and some other technologies are basically exercised to go through and say, okay, here's all the issues, here's the disparities, here's all the fixes, fix, boom, here's a report.